Well, in his latest Greed and Fear note, Chriswood of Jefferies has talked in depth about the entire Chinese crisis as far as the Evergrande crisis is concerned. He also speaks about India, and he speaks about India in depth. He says that within the emerging market space, it's important not to forget India because of how resilient the Indian stock market has been. Also, he's speaking about private capex. He's spoken about how exactly is the jobs peak index going, and he continues to believe that the Indian residential property market is on the cusp of a multi-year bull run. Now, what exactly is Chriswood saying? Let's have a look at it. Number one, he says that the Evergrande crisis, as far as the Chinese market or the Chinese property developer is concerned, is not really the Chinese Lehman moment, simply because, according to Chriswood, this is not a problem that has surfaced overnight. Rather, this particular entity has been facing issues for quite some time, and which is why he believes that it really isn't the Chinese Lehman moment. But coming to India, and he's devoted a lot of time as far as his note is concerned to the Indian stock market. He's saying that when you're talking about India, it is quite easy to forget because there is so much going on in China. But he's saying the Indian stock market has remained extraordinarily resilient, and he's saying that Jeffrey Indian Office's recovery tracker has continued to recover since the Delta wave peaked in May. He's saying the recovery tracker has risen from a low of 78% to 108% in early September. COVID cases remain way off their high, which is good news, while the vaccination rate is now running at around 9 million doses on a daily basis. Now, what is he saying is that the structural bull market story, or the structural bull story, remains in place, with the growing evidence that a new residential property cycle has commenced after a 7-year downturn. And this is something that's extremely important. He is saying that there were setbacks that this particular wave did face due to the Delta variant coming in. However, he is saying that pre-sales across top 7 cities have risen almost 23% on a month-on-month basis and 41% on a year-on-year basis in July, based on the data from Prop Equity. Also, what he is saying is that property registrations indicating completed transactions for the month of July to September were up 45% in Mumbai and 56% in Delhi, compared with the levels prevailing in 2019. So pre-COVID levels too, when you're comparing property registration data, is extremely high. He's saying unsold inventory is coming down sharply, affordability index is very high, inventory levels especially, which was almost 50 months of sales in October in Delhi, has now come down to just around 33 months. So some very strong data coming and supporting the argument that a multi-year bull run is here to stay as far as the residential real estate market is concerned. He's also gone ahead and increased in weightage in Bajaj Finance in this particular note that he sent out to his clients.